Conversations on the radio. If you want the latest, you can find it on the show. Conversations on radio. Conversations on radio. Conversations on radio. Conversations on radio.
Back with Capital Conversations. We're bringing in
Welcome
our
back.
What's up?
our next featured guest, author and pastor, Mr. Darrell Owens. We met him at Millie's Millie in the City event about a month, 2 months ago.
Oh, you was in the city.
He was in the city at the event. One of the
You
main
met mad
speakers
people
here.
over there.
It was a rack of people.
Really know everybody in the city for real.
The book
Tell.
is called Love Reworked, Reforming, Representing, and Reapproaching Love, Sex, and Relationships.
That's all one title?
That's all the title.
All one word.
I'm out of
I thought it
breath.
was just Love Reworked. I was like, all right.
I mean,
there we
that's
go.
what I usually just say. Love Reworked there.
Okay.
So what's happening,
You said
Mr. Owens?
Can you tell us a little bit about the book?
The B?
Can you tell us a little bit about the book?
The B?
Yeah, what's wrong with her?
My
Yeah?
mind is in a whole nother area. I'm so sorry.
Adjust your mic too, because you sound crazy.
I do. I'm
No,
sorry.
she's fine.
Should I sit up on it? I'm good. All right.
Don't sit up on it.
Don't sit up on it. Okay, like tell us a little bit more about the
Yeah,
book.
go ahead and transition out of that.
Yeah, you like that one? All right, go ahead.
The book is my attempt to basically give a fresh approach to love and relationships in modern culture. Basically, the rules from the 60s don't work now. I don't believe they work. I think they're largely destructive. Even though people have a tendency to want to go back, they say, I wish we need to go back to what it was like for our parents or our grandparents when love was real. Well, love was only real to them in their generation, in their particular moment. As things change, everybody is forced to evolve with technology, everything except for, I think, spirituality, and it seems like education kind of progresses forward. Everything else people try to keep back. Even in their relationships, people will dress modern, they'll drive modern, they'll have, technology with the cell phones and all that. But when they get in a relationship, they'll meet each other in a modern environment, sexy lounges and all this nice stuff. But when they get in a relationship, they actually start applying old practices.
Right.
That ultimately seem like they become self-destructive after a while. So I try to give just new options.
So what motivated you to write this book?
Well, I think the breakdown, as a pastor, I counsel lots of women who either are in destructive relationships or they are in a bad place because they can't find the right relationship, and at some point, after a certain amount of time, they tend to turn on their own self. They start saying, something's wrong with me. I need to do this, or, life is just not good, or somehow I'm being punished. Rather than maybe the system is rigged.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Yeah. I try to say that it's not so much that you're so messed up or men are so messed up, because men and women go back and forth about this. Like this, I have a chapter called "The Battle of the Sexes," and the thesis on the chapter basically is that there's not really a battle. When you think about it, you go to the doctor. There's not a female brain doctor or a male back doctor or a female foot doctor. Everything is the same for us except for maybe the gynecologist. That's it. So we're more alike than we are different is my point.
Right. Don't get lost in the gynecologist part.
Agreed.
We're more alike than we are different.
Right.
So if that's the truth, then I think the battle of the sexes is a myth. So we fight each other rather than everybody stopping fighting each other and saying maybe the system is flawed. Maybe how they told us, however they define love, how they define how a relationship is supposed to go, maybe that's rigged.
It's all a big scam. Absolutely.
You knew he was going to say that.
Because
It's definitely a
three
big
times
scam.
on the show.
Because at the end of the day, I think if you're an individual, if we want to really promote individualism, your relationship has to be unique.
I agree with that.
I agree as well.
100%.
Okay.
Those are the things that push me to write the book, because it's like I think people get stuck trying to live out dramatizations you see in the movies,
Right.
TV,
Instead of trying
songs,
to live their truth.
instead of just being
Yeah, old wives' tales about what's supposed to happen versus
Right.
you just need to live in the moment and live with who is in front of your face, not who you try to build them to be.
Absolutely.
Or who's your mama think they should be, your daddy think you should be. Just do what y'all do.
Absolutely. I
And
think,
if you comfortable, keep it going.
and I think people, listen, it's like this. I describe the programming when I do my live sessions like this. Young girls from when you're young, you guys are told women are emotional so much that if you get in a relationship with a guy and you're not overly emotional, you feel like less than a woman.
Or they try to make you feel like less than a woman.
Well, you feel like it because you feel like I'm supposed to do that. Because you've been told so much, women are emotional, women are emotional, women are going to do this, women are going to do. So if you don't feel like that woman, there are certain women who do not feel overly emotional. They understand something on a deeper level and they don't overreact. But they feel like maybe something's wrong with me because I'm supposed to freak out.
Yeah, you go to.
Something's wrong with them.
Huh?
I think it's more he feels like something's wrong with them.
That's
Like,
what I was
I'm
thinking.
not an emotional woman.
Well, look, and I think the man can feel that way too, but because all of us, both men and women, are both told women are emotional. Women are emotional. So if you're told that all your
So
life,
we go in with that thought in our head.
you can't not.
Yeah, so she's not flipping out about stuff because women tell me that women will tell me that they'll be like, well, I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you tripping? Like, what's wrong with you?
Over something small?
Yeah, over something petty, right? And they'll be like, well, you know I'm a woman. You know I'm in love with you. You know I do all. I'm like, what does this mean? Like, what does that have to do with you acting like a fool?
Right.
You shouldn't act like a fool. Just if you like me, you probably shouldn't act like a fool. You should be positive.
Maybe she just means, hey, take my feelings into consideration as well.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. But like you should be.
She said, no, that's not it. Okay.
What?
Was that a different perspective? Like you feel like that's not what was being said?
I mean, I'm not an emotional woman, so like when girls trip out about stuff, like I can pack my stuff and leave in the same amount of time. You can have this meltdown, like, and I got things to do. So like, if I get to the point that I need to be emotional, it's time for me to leave. Like where I'm not rational, it's time for me to go.
And that's awesome.
She the real MVP.
That's
right
awesome. But most women, and watch this, not because they feel like they do. I feel like you feel like because I am a woman, to be a woman, I'm supposed to act accordingly.
No.
This is subconscious. Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
See, but I don't know because I wasn't told all my life to be emotional. Like
not told to be emotional. It's just that women are emotional. Women are emotional. Yeah.
You know what they say
Think
now?
about the
They
scene.
say women are crazy. Women are crazy.
Yeah, that's the new
I'll be like,
emotional.
I'm not
right there.
crazy.
Like, crazy.
Because emotional in 2015 looks crazy now because back in the day.
B-Dot is definitely crazy.
And think
I'm
about
not crazy.
that great scene
But that's
from,
what you got to say to justify what it is you feel about it. So
but think about that great scene from Waiting to Exhale.
Okay.
When Angela Bassett
she burns
Came in
her
the
car.
I'm not gonna cry.
Oh,
and they're playing the song, and she puts all his clothes in his new car. She helped him build his
burns it
empire.
and walks away.
And she's sitting smoking a cigarette, just like that. You know, at the end of the day, who does that serve? What does that serve?
I would never, ever.
Do all that.
Oh, my God. First of all,
But you don't think women do that?
I'm sure there's some women out there that would. But I'm saying, like, no, never. What?
But you never know what would happen if you were brought to that point. I mean,
There's no point.
She was in a messed up situation.
But
She was at her breaking
No, at
point.
the end of the day, she was betrayed in the sense of he had another woman and she didn't know about it, so she was being lied to. She was being cheated on. But this is not that wasn't an unusual thing. That happens.
Right.
Like people get cheated on all the time.
It happens.
Somebody getting cheated on right now.
Tonight.
Tonight.
At this very
Watching
second.
Empire with somebody else.
Conversations on the radio. If you want the latest, you can find it on the show. Conversations on.
If you missed anything, make sure you go to WLLSPD.podbean.com.